Hello and welcome back to another episode of Overkill Trading. In today's video, what we're going to be going over is TradingView. So for some reason, I haven't done a specific tutorial yet on TradingView itself. TradingView is just tradingview.com. So I just wanted to go ahead and create a video and show you guys all the features at least I use. I mean, you can get really in depth with this. There's also some really great videos on TradingView that you guys can watch, but I wanted to go ahead and add this into our course because I'm getting a lot of questions and things through TradingView, and it is the platform that we use, so it's important to understand. So if you guys are new to the channel, I do have a free trading course over here. There's about 7 or 8 videos. I'm going to go ahead and add this one in, but completely free over there in the Discord. That link is in the bio and down in the description, probably in the comments section as well. So I think the most important thing to go over first is probably the time frames. So the time frames up here are going to be the time frames that you trade. So on this channel, we focus on a monthly and a daily. We also look at the weekly and the 4-hour. It really just all depends on your strategy and how you're approaching the market. So with our strategy, we typically look 6 months out, okay, at a maximum. So we're buying and holding for 1 to 6 months, which means we're taking positions and we're buying for that 1 to 6 month period. So it makes sense if we're trading for on a monthly basis to go ahead and look at a monthly chart, right? Because we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months out. 6 months is quite a long time. It's 180 days, just about 180 days. So it makes sense to look at the monthly, right? If you're looking at the weekly, right, this would be like if you wanted to make trades based on a weekly basis. Daily, this is on a daily basis, and then you get into the smaller time frames like the 4-hour and the hourly, which are, right, each one of these bars is 1 hour's worth of time. Each one of these bars on the monthly chart, let me just turn off my volume here. Okay, and these aren't very good charts. Let's just go to like a chart of Bitcoin here. Okay, so each one of these on a monthly chart up here, if you can't see the monthly chart up here, you need to click that down and you need to select what time frame you want to look at. So if I go to a 12-month chart, you can see each one of these bars is 12 months worth of time, which would be a year. Okay, and Bitcoin's obviously just absolutely skyrocketing here at this time of recording this. It's been a good couple years, good 3 years for Bitcoin. But again, you want to select the time frame that you're wanting to trade. Okay, if you're day trading, you probably want to be in on the 15-minute or the minute chart, right? And you're trying to scalp at that point. But again, our strategy here is a swing trade strategy. Okay, very important to understand that first. How long are you wanting to buy and hold? I like the 1 to 6 month time frame. It allows me not to have to sit at my computer for 8 hours a day and constantly check prices. I'm buying and I'm holding for 1 to 6 months. So therefore, that is why we focus on the monthly and the daily chart. If you guys want to learn more about this strategy, again, I got a free trading course over here. Watch all those videos. You can come over here to the trading rules and read this. I go through that in almost every video, but this is more of a video focused on TradingView in itself. So when you find the time frame that you want to trade, so if you're using our strategy, you'd want the monthly chart. Okay, so what you could do is just select this star here. So if I unselect that, you can see how that went away up here. You see it's not up there. So if I wanted to add that in, I would just select the monthly. I would star it. And now it's just right up there for me to click. Okay, you also got these down here, but I don't use these ones. I use these ones up here. Some people use these down here, but when I talk about the monthly chart, I'm talking about the one up here because this one is a lot different than this one down here. Okay, you can see this is a 30-minute. This is a 30-minute chart down here when you click on the 1 minute or the 1 month. So again, it's very important to differentiate the others. So once you find the time frames, again, I use the monthly, the weekly, the 4-hour, the hourly, and the daily. Those are the ones I like to look at. Anything smaller than that is for day trading. The hourly is even really too small for our strategy, but yeah, so that's important, right? You want to select the time frame, get used to it. You want to determine how long you're holding, and then you need to determine, right, what time frame makes sense for that duration of your trade. Okay, you don't want to be swing trading and trading a 30-minute chart, right? Each one of these bars is 30 minutes, so your trade should be for hours at a time. It should be for hours to maybe a day on a 30-minute chart, where if you're trading a monthly chart and you're entering on one of our buy signals here, you're going to want to wait for 1 to 6 months. That's 100 to 180 days. Our strategy is a little different than what most people are preaching, but it's very, very successful if you can have patience to execute it, just as you can tell here from Bitcoin. I mean, if we enter on these green dots, you were buying Bitcoin in 2023 at 16,000. We called that out right there. It's now at 120,000. That was a 10x trade if you got in on that dot, and you just had to wait from 2023 to 2025. If you put in 10 grand down here, you now have $100,000. Same thing back here in October, boom, 27,000, okay, all the way up to 120. Right here in November, 68,000, all the way to 122. So it just depends on, right, your strategy. If you're following along with us, we are 1 to 6 month swing traders, and this is our trading strategy. We have a buy strategy and a sell strategy laid out. If you guys do not have a sell strategy or a buy strategy, you need to have one. You need to make one, okay? Trading takes an enormous amount of discipline. Okay, the discipline and the plan is what's going to get you through those times when you may have not been right and you may feel like panic selling. But if you have your conviction, if you're like, okay, I'm 1 to 6 months out, I bought, right? I bought for the prices in 1 to 6 months. So when you have a little sell off like this over a week or so, you don't have that angst to want to sell and give up, because again, you're sticking to your plan. A plan is the most important thing to have in trading. And again, you can mimic this plan. I've developed this over 8 years, so I've had a lot of success with it over the years. And if not, you can mimic it and kind of, make it your own on your own time frame. So again, time frames are going to be up here. Okay, star the ones you want. That's going to get you up here. The next thing is going to be watch lists. So let me just go to a random name here. I'm just going to go to Toyota Motor here. So Toyota Motor just gapped up. Okay, so this might be one that I want to add to my watch list. So maybe I heard somebody talking about it. Maybe I heard a TikTok influencer talking about it. Maybe I heard someone on the news talking about it, right? You name it. You came across a stock somehow or a crypto and you want to keep an eye on it. So the first thing I always do is I will right click on the name and I will add it to my watch list. Okay, so I can add this one to my watch list. So my watch list is up here. Okay, and this is, you can see it just got added to my watch list. So with my strategy, what I look for is a green dot on the monthly. Okay, this one doesn't have the green dot on the monthly just yet, but it is gapping up. So I wouldn't add that one into my green list yet, because again, it doesn't have the monthly dot just yet. So the monthly dot is what I'm looking for, because I'm a monthly, right, 1 to 6 months out. So what I trade is this monthly dot. When I get that, I want to buy, and then I want to hold for 1 to 6 months. Again, I want to add on the smaller time frames. So to create a watch list, what you want to do is you want to come up here, so, and click on open list. Okay, and then you could see that I have all these different watch lists here. So let's rewind here a little bit. So if I wanted to add target to a watch list, I could say, I can right click on the name, right? And I can come over here to add target to my watch list, create new list, and this is where I could name my list, right? So you could create one that says watch list, or you could put a date on it and say 7/20, or daily watch list. You could name it whatever you want. The important thing is just staying organized. So when I'm creating a watch list, I want one watch list. So this is my watch list here, the one I just added target to. I want all the names that I follow in one watch list. Okay, I want every single name that I follow, that I've came across over the years. There's about 300 names in my watch list here, about 300 names. Okay, so I want that in a singular watch list. So if I click watch list here, and I'll just uncheck this really quick, so you can see how the W was up here at the top, and now it's not there. So if I come up here to this, right, and hit that and tap on that, that pops down. I go to open list, and I can hit this star here. Okay, and that star is what allows it to come up here, and then I can just toggle to it just like that. Boom. Okay, and now I can see that watch list. So when I have my watch list now, okay, so my strategy again, if it's on my green list, so the green is actually the flag here. So the flag is where you can just add, you can keep track of them by colors, right? So I have, you guys can see I have a red list, a blue list, and a green list. I also have an orange list and a light blue list. And there's a bunch of different ones. So let me just go back to Toyota Motor right here, for example. So what I can do is I can click on this and I can add that into my green list. So With my criteria, right, what I'm looking for as a swing trader is I'm looking for that monthly dot. Okay, so you can see this one's another car company right here, STLA. I took a trade on this last week, and it's up about 12% today. What I'm looking for is that green dot. So if it has a green dot on the monthly chart, typically what that tells me, right, it's part of our strategy. It's the first thing I look for, right? Green dot means buy, red dot means sell. We only want to buy assets that have a green dot on the monthly chart. Now, why is that? That's because the monthly dot tells me that the direction is reversing to the upside on a monthly basis. You can see the last time we got a monthly dot on STLA was all the way back in 2022. At the time of recording this video in July of 2025, that was 3 years ago. So the reason I like trading the higher time frames is because it's more accurate, because there's more data. Okay, the green dots and the red dots on the monthly are going to be a lot more accurate than the ones on the hourly. Okay, look at this. Look how many dots have came here since June or July, right? In the last month, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in the last 2 months, we've gotten like 10 or 12. Okay, and I'm not bashing the hourly chart or anything. If you have success with it, great. But I don't have to make a decision every couple of days because, boom, I got this monthly dot. Now I'm buying and I'm holding for that 1 to 6 month period. My trading strategy is pretty boring, but it really is, in my opinion, very successful if you can hold, if you're able to hold. Okay, the hardest thing about this is holding. Okay, having the patience, because a lot of people want this move to happen. They want the 100, 200, 300% move overnight. Okay, that's typically not realistic. You're not going to catch a lot of those by day trading, right? But if you're willing to buy, right? If STLA went back up here to 30 here, right, where it was, that's 189%. If I have to wait 1 to 6 months for that to happen, so be it. Okay, and again, this is not a trading strategy video. This is a trading view. So what I look for, right, on my watch list. So if I scroll through these, like BMNR, okay, that's a bad example, but here's Jobby. That one doesn't have any data here. Here's GMS. So this one actually has a green dot on the monthly, so I could move this to my green list. Okay, I could toggle that to my green list. So I typically use 3 different colored lists. The green list is obviously, these are the names I am actively looking to buy. Okay, actively looking to buy. Okay, because if it has a green dot on the monthly chart, I then want to look at the daily and the 4-hour chart to buy. So all of these names on this list, what I'm looking for is a daily, okay, a daily alert or a 4-hour alert. Okay, and this is another awful chart. Here's nail here. Or let's go to PFE. So PFE has the monthly dot, right? So it's on my green list. So I want to keep track of all the names that have a green dot on the monthly. Therefore, I use that green list to do that. So if I see it over here in my watch list, QBTS, probably not a good one, PLTR, I ran all these names. Everything's ripping. All these should be on my green list here. TTD, like DJT doesn't have a green dot, so this one's on my red list. So if it has a red dot on the monthly, it's on my red list. So that's how I keep track of the red and green dots. You can see that some of these actually still have green monthlies, but there might be other reasons as to why I'm not looking to make a trade, and that is therefore why they are still on my red list. So with that being said, that's how you keep track of those. So if you want those to show up here at the top, okay, up here at the top, you just have to come in here, hit open list, and then you just want to star your list. Like I can add the orange and that blue list. See, those pop up here now. So now I can just toggle those lists up here. I don't have to click this and come down here and go to open list and then go. No, I just put the star there, and that's what makes it, right, pop up right up there. So that's another thing about TradingView, is just staying organized with your watch list. Again, your time frames are up here, right? This is how you search for tickers. So if someone gave you a stock or something, let's just use Donut Krispy Kreme. Beautiful breakout here today. I actually want to add this one in now, and you can see it has a green monthly dot. So this is one I'd be interested in. Krispy Kreme Donuts, shout out to them. But you can see how that thing is just absolutely skyrocketing now. So, right, I found Krispy Kreme. I just added it to my watch list, okay? And now I am watching it for the next signal, okay? After I get the monthly alert, okay, what I want to watch for is the daily and the 4 hours. So by keeping all these names in the green list, that allows me, that allows me to keep an eye on these names and look for pullbacks on the smaller time frames like the daily and the 4 hour. So there's the monthly, right? I want that monthly green dot, therefore it's in my green list. And again, all you got to do is right click on a name or just click this flag up here. Boom. Okay, and then you could select what list you want it. So you could have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different lists with the colors. That's more than you need. Like I said, I use the red and the green mostly, and sometimes I'll incorporate the blue. I also have a really good video on how to do that as well. So that is the watch list portion. I'm trying to think of whatever else there is. If you guys are setting alerts, so if I wanted to set an alert on my indicator here, I could just hit add. I could right click down here on the indicator. So say I wanted to set up an alert here. Okay, we got the monthly dot on donut. So now, right, if you're using our strategy, we then want to look for a daily dot or a 4 hour dot. Okay, so the monthly, we need the monthly dot, right? Check. Okay, we have the monthly dot here. Now we want to get into the daily or the 4 hour. Okay, so what I could do, for example, on DNUT here, I could add an alert. So if I wanted to look for a 4 hour alert, what I could do is I could right click and I could hit add alert. Okay, and then I can select here. You could use the small green dot or the big green dot. Normally on the 4 hour chart, I use the big green circle. Okay, the big green circles are going to be more accurate. The difference between a big green circle and a small green circle is going to be this shaded area down here below the dot. So you can see like this dot didn't have a shaded area down here. Okay, so that's the difference between a big and a small dot. If you call out the small, if you just set an alert for the small, you pretty much get every single one. You get the big and the small. So I'd recommend that one. You can see Lunar's going off here with the monthly. Okay, and I can set that alert there. I normally do once per bar, and then right here you have to set your expiration. I have the TradingView plan that allows me to set open-ended alerts, so I never have to select a date. But typically, if you don't have that big of a plan, you just want to go out as far as you can and select that, and then hit create. And once you hit create, it will notify you by email. Okay, you can come over here to notifications. You can have them send you an email. It'll show up in TradingView. It'll notify you in the app, and it'll send you a alert over here as well in the alert section. So right here, this is what I check every single morning is for my alerts. Okay, and we call out all our alerts over here in the Discord. I also have a section on how to trade these. Again, our typical time frame is for 1 to 6 months, but it tells you what to do on every single dot. Okay, not every alert is a signal to buy or sell. So make sure you guys read the disclaimer on that. I am not a financial advisor. This is just a charting strategy that I use to build positions around names. And yeah, so again, that's over here. You can see the daily alert we want to buy as long as the monthly is green. The 4 hour alert we want to buy as long as the monthly is green, right? So when we have those green dots on the monthly, we want to be looking for those hourly. So this was a great entry here on Donut right there at around $3. It popped all the way up to 6. That was a 100% move. So right now we're looking for the red dot to maybe take some off the table, or we're looking for the green dot to even add more. So over here in the alert section, when you guys set up those alerts, what you can do is I can come to Lunar here and I can see, okay, we got a green dot on the monthly. So this just happened live, right? I just got that green dot alert over here in the monthly. You can see that it was called out right here in the Discord. Lunar is showing a green dot on the monthly. We're getting a lot of these, dude. It's going to be a really good end of the year here. But Lunar just popped off with the monthly. So what I would do now that I got that alert is I would now move that from the red list over to the green list. Okay, and then the green list is where I would be looking for those pullbacks, right? So now I'm going to be alerted when we get a daily green dot or a 4 hour green dot here on my green list, because that's how my alerts are set up, right? The 4 hour alerts over here, the 4 hour and the daily alerts over here are only called out on the names from my green list. So only these names get the 4 hour and the daily called out. Okay, the red list does not get those called out because, again, they're not green on the monthly. We're not interested in taking a trade on those names that are not green on the monthly chart. Okay, so when you have your alert set, you can come through here and you could just toggle through this. This is what I do every morning. I do this once a day. Okay, that's all it takes with our strategy. I can see Toyota Motors got a weekly. I could see UPST's got a daily. I could see TMO's got a daily. And I could decide, okay, do I want to enter on this daily dot or do I want to hold off and wait for a little bit more of a pullback? Okay, I could look at the monthly, I could see, boom, it had a monthly dot showing up, but it faded away. So I can make a decision now based on right what these alerts are telling me. Because again, I want to buy here on the daily dot as long as the monthly is green, or the 4-hour dot as long as the monthly is green. Okay, because again, my time frame is 1 to 6 months out, so I am focusing here on a monthly. Okay, focusing on a monthly chart. If it has the monthly dot, okay, that tells me that the trend is going to be up for at least the next 1 to 6 months. Okay, so I'm buying and holding for 1 to 6 months, and then looking for opportunities to add here on the 4-hour and the daily. So, and then over here you got your toolbar. So you got some lines over here you guys can mess with. I use the horizontal line a lot. The horizontal line is just a structured line. So I can see right here $7 is support on this Novax trade. So I could set that alert there, or I could set that there, and I could actually use this to set up an alert and hit add alert to the horizontal line. And then I can have this alert me when the price, if the price crosses down below that $7 level. So if it goes down below that, I could actually set up my own alert on that and be notified when that happens. So there's a lot of tools and stuff over here. I don't use a lot of these. The one I use the most is probably the horizontal line. And I also use the long position tool. So I can actually use this long position tool to measure. So if you guys are familiar with my strategy, my price target is always up here in the red zone when I take these trades. So say I was to play this lunar play here off this monthly dot, say I wanted to get in on that, I can come in here to the daily and I could say, okay, where's my target? Well, my target is always, one of my targets is always up here inside of the red zone. This is a Fibonacci retracement tool. So what I could do to measure this move here from 13 up to 23 is I could come over here, okay? And what I could do is I could use this long position tool. So I'll just click on this, and then I can click there and then drag it up just like that. So I can see that's a 71% move, 72% move to my target. Doesn't mean it's going to go up there and hit the target, but typically that's where you see it go when you get these monthly signals. So Lunar is a really great play right now because it has 71% back to the top of the Fibonacci. If you guys don't know what a Fibonacci tool is, I actually have a whole course, like I said at the beginning, over here on the Fibonacci. I'd highly recommend watching this video here, and then also this one right here, the complete Fibonacci trading masterclass. This isn't my video, but this guy explains the Fibonacci tool very, very well. So again, I have 7 or 8 other videos you guys can watch here. I just wanted to go over any of the all the tools that I use to do this, or to trade at least. So then there's the indicators tab. So if you guys have my trading indicators, you could obviously use yours. You could edit these by coming over here and clicking on this drop down menu. Okay, and then like say you wanted to go to the auto fib here. Say you maybe wanted to hide that from the chart. You just click the I button there, and then it would show back up. Okay, and then you can click the settings button. Okay, and you can mess with the colors and things like that here. I just typically like to keep mine as it is. Mine's pretty much set. If you guys have the indicators, you guys can mess with them if you want, but they are set to the settings that I personally like the most. If you guys do not have these indicators, you guys can download those over here inside the Discord. I got an email right there you guys can check out. But I have other videos on how to use our indicators and stuff in the Discord, so I don't really want to get into that. But if you did want to change some things, you could just drop this down, and you could mess with these. You could mess with the time frame links and stuff like that. And you can unhide and hide certain indicators. So again, if I wanted to hide the Fibonacci, I could hide the Fibonacci. If I wanted to hide the moving average, I could hide the moving average. Okay, so on and so forth. So, and then up here you got the candle types. So I normally use the candles, just the normal candles. I also switch back and forth between the Heiken and Ashi. So that's another thing. You could star these, and then they'll show up here at the top. Up here at the top here when you star them. So that's a cool little feature there. You got the time frames already. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I use. There's really not. The only other thing is you guys can actually follow some of TradingView's lists. If you go to open list and go to these hot lists here. So these are the volume gainers for the day. I really like to watch the gap gainers. So the gap gainers is my favorite hot list to follow here for on TradingView. This is like a pre-built scanner. So if I clicked on the gappers, so these are the big gappers for today. So like you could see, they're gapping up. When a stock gaps up like this, that means buyers are stepping in here. I really like TMO here, by the way. Big move off of earnings. And then I can look through these. So these are just pre-built. Normally what I look for in this is just a move that's just starting. So MTD actually looks pretty good here, gapping up because it has room up here to the red zone. If it's gapped up in the red zone, I don't want to take part, right? Because it's not typically a 1 to 6 month swing trade in that case. Like VST, it's already up. It's already had that gap up. It's already up 5 months in a row. So I'm late to the party, right? It's already in the red zone. And then if I see one on here I like here's Lamb Weston Holdings, this one just gapped up on its earnings, so this one looks good. So if I wanted to follow this, again, I could right click, add it to my watch list. I could click on the green and add it to my green list, so on and so forth. So you guys can check out those hot lists too. I think the coolest thing is being able to just star these and then toggle. You could actually star that hot list there, that gap gainers. You guys can experiment and look at these too. I just use the gap gainers. That's really the only hot list I care about because, again, if I'm looking at a stock that's gapping up, wow, all these car maker stocks are just ripping. Here's VICR. So you can see that's gapping up and it has a green dot on its monthly chart, but it's up here in the red zone. So again, I probably wouldn't take that trade because if the red zone is my target, we're already in that target range. Okay, if you come back here to a name like Link, Chainlink. So look at Chainlink here. Chainlink has the green dot on the monthly. Okay, wonderful. Okay, it's on my green list. It's on my watch list. Now I'm looking to the daily or the 4 hour for that green dot. And the 4 hour green dot on Chainlink is going to be great on this one. If this comes down to 16, it's going to be a solid play. But now that we have the green dot on the monthly on Chainlink, again, we're in here on the 4 hour and the daily time frames looking for those alerts, looking for the green dot on the daily or the 4 hour as long as that monthly is green. So and again, Chainlink has room. It's not in the red zone yet. So it has the green dot on the monthly, but it's not in the red zone. So Chainlink, for me, if I'm waiting for my target to hit, it has 62% to go. Okay, up here in the red zone. The red dots in the red zone are the places you want to sell. So if you guys got any more questions about things on TradingView, feel free to drop them inside on the comments or in the support chat over here or in the chat in the Discord. We have like 2,000 members now. Again, I got the free course over here for you guys that explains our strategy, all of our trading rules, everything you guys need to know in order. This was just more of a tutorial on TradingView. I can't think of anything else that I actually use. I mostly just have my watch list here. I check my alerts once a day over here when I log on. And of course, we can toggle through each time frame up here. So the important thing is to find the time frames you want to trade. If you're like us, you want to use the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour. You could throw the hourly in there if you want, but it's not as important. It's not part of our strategy, but it's still okay to look at sometimes. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions about TradingView or anything, I'd love to hear them. I can cover more stuff. I just need to hear from you guys. These were the biggest questions that seem to be needed addressed. So hopefully you got something out of this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you. Peace.